Chapter 8 of Psychopomp Drive. Written by Janeen Leese-Taylor. Read aloud by Skaya Simaru. Chapter 8 Sisters. In ancient lore, the location of the gates of hell had always been a mystery. Hidden beneath vast stretches of mountain and river, the huge monument of stone was not how it was portrayed in fiction. There were no Bastilles or dragons, no towering flames or red-suited devils. The door was just a door, like any other, one that allowed the living to leave their body behind and enter a new and eternal world of light. And before this door, there were 3 sisters. Irish daughters with dark hair and eyes as fresh and blue as the Atlantic Ocean. The sisters stood side by side as the mistresses of the world beyond. The eldest, tall and ethereally beautiful, Morgan, was the controller of nature. She took the seeds from the bellies of the trees and gave new life where once only death had reigned. She dressed in green, adorned with flowers in celebration of her gift. Her twin, less than 2 minutes her junior, Bav, was her opposite. Where Morgan was brightness and light, Bav was release and sleep. The first goddess of death, Bav was the one who reached out a hand to heal the suffering of others, to bring to rest those who were weary and alone. The 2 sisters were inseparable, like twin doves on a single branch. There was no evil nor good, only an endless circle of life, death, and rebirth. To see the kind smiles of the twins upon your deathbed was considered the greatest blessing. The 3rd sister, born centuries later, rose to power before maturity. She was brash and reckless and cared not for the souls in her charge. She enjoyed the thrill of counting their numbers, of gathering together the many souls that had died for her cause, no matter what banner they had fallen under. The Lady of War had a strength that was beyond the control of the other gods. As humanity expanded across the globe, developing new and more violent wars to take and take, war bathed in the blood of allies and foes alike. She became high on her influence, the hatred as sharp and visceral as a new drug. Over the years, the flow of battle became cold, and the 3rd sister grew bored and restless within her position. Every morning with the sunrise, she could feel her power beginning to drain away. Although the mortals were always aware of her existence, her name no longer carried with it the weight of fear and reality. The threat of sudden war faded into the background, and the image of her disappeared into obscurity. War watched as her sisters passed on their powers to new gods and retired from the gates, happy to assist from the shadows. But there were no new gods of war. Holding her hands out before her, Maka glared at the cleanness of her fingers. It had been so long since she had seen battle, so long since she had been heralded a goddess of revolution and change. The humans had forgotten her, had forgotten all that she had done for them, forgotten that she had been the one to pave the way for all that they had. Ungrateful, selfish humans! She reached for the doorway before her, stepping through the threshold and into the living world beyond. She smiled as she felt the sunlight, real and warm, washing over her skin. She would be the one to remind them. To be continued in Chapter 9.